Hey guys! I am Ramona. Today I would like to tell you about an experience I had when I was 7 years old. While I was growing up, my parents and I lived on the other side of Dramadonia. The house directly next to ours had been vacant for about 3 years. Then one summer, we noticed what appeared to be a new family moving in. I was pleasantly surprised when I realized there was a little girl around my age, since it meant I'd potentially have someone new to play with. Introductions were made, then Sadie and I quickly became playmates and really good friends. I didn't interact with her dad, Mr. Houston, much in the beginning because it seemed he worked a lot and wasn't home very often. I thought her mom was a bit upset about it because I'd often see her staring into space with a picture of him in her hand and a sad expression on her face when she thought no one was looking. At that age, I honestly couldn't care less. It was none of my business, and I certainly wasn't going to allow it to dampen my mood. One day, out of the blue, while I was waiting for Sadie to get dressed so we could go outside and play, her dad came in from the garden and we had a little chit-chat as I waited. He seemed like a really nice guy. This continued for about 2 weeks. Every time I was put in a position where I had to wait for Sadie, if he was around, he would come keep me company until she was ready. I began to enjoy our little talks. He never made me feel like a dumb kid and seemed genuinely interested in what I had to say, which was unusual adult behavior, so it was quite welcoming. I knew my parents loved me to bits, but they worked a lot, so they mostly did chores and slept when they were at home. So I was really enjoying the attention. One day my dad came down with something and had to go to the doctor. They were unsure of what it was, but said the symptoms were mild enough so as not to cause worry. However, my dad was very uncomfortable. I went over to ask if Sadie could come outside and play with me as I usually did. Her mom told me her bedroom was a right mess and she was cleaning it, but she was almost done so I could come wait inside as she wouldn't be very long. Shortly after, Mr. Houston approached me and asked me how my dad was doing. I told him my dad was still not feeling too well, but the doctors weren't too concerned about it. They said he needed rest. He asked me if I believed in the power of words, then explained to me that words are very powerful when used correctly. My young mind raced with wonder and expectation as I reflected on how miserable my dad had been for the past week. Then he gave me a pouch and told me it contained medication. He said I was to mix it into the glass of water my dad kept at his bedside tonight after everyone was asleep. He then taught me 3 words I was to repeat 5 times, after which I was to wake my dad telling him he was choking in his sleep so he should drink some water. I was about to wake my dad when my mother came in. Apparently, she had gotten home early from work and was relaxing in the living room when she heard me got up, so she came in and witnessed it all. And I can honestly not describe to you the look of sheer horror plastered on her face. Mr. Houston, I was told, had been dead for over a year, and the ritual I was in the process of completing would allow his soul to enter and take charge of my father's body. The shock of it overpowered me, and I merely fainted.